Hey, good morning, friends. It's me, Shaliza. It is a very dark morning here in the Dallas area. Really, really dark. And last night there were tons of hailstorms. It was pretty bad for like a good while, a solid while. It was just hail and hail and hail, and it was pretty scary. It sounded like Armageddon. Now, hail is not uncommon in this area. This is my second time of living in this area, and hail is not uncommon at all. But one of the things that really just kind of stood out in my mind and reminded me of the faithfulness of God is that when I woke up this morning, even though it was dark, everything looked back to normal. There was very little water on the ground, and I was able to proceed with the day as regular. And it just reminded me that sometimes in the middle of a storm, it seems like all is lost. Sometimes in the middle of a storm, we might feel like there's no way I can recover from this, but that is a lie from the pit of hell. And there's this little bird nest that's right outside my window, and I am in the middle right now of Dallas City, which is a really big city, as many of you all would know, and I am in the heart of downtown. And this little bird nest in this little oak tree, amongst all of these buildings and all of the traffic and all of the hustle and the bustle, I look at these little creatures, these little birds in the nest, and they might be in a situation that could seem really tumultuous, and they're in a place that might be really dangerous for a bird to live. But that's where the Lord assigned for them to live. And because He's assigned them to live there, they are peaceful through the hail. They are peaceful through all of the things that happen that could be really dangerous for a small little bird in a small little bird nest in a very big city. They are kept by the hand of the Lord, and it reminded me that if His eye is on the sparrow, then His eye is on me. If He is going to take care of the birds who don't sow and they don't reap, and they're only here for a short space of time, if He takes care of that bird, then He's going to take care of me. And it's such a good reminder for this day and this age. You know, a lot of us have mixed emotions about the election. I think most people are in some kind of fear, anxiety, uncertainty, what the future will hold. And there are some really grave concerns, I'm not going to lie. But the truth is Jesus will always be Lord, and He is going to take care of us. The same way that He took care of Daniel when he was thrown in Daniel 6 in the lion's den, and the king in the palace couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He couldn't even take any entertainment that night. But there was Daniel at peace with the lions because the Lord shut the mouths of the lions. Today, the Lord is shutting the mouth of your lion. All you need to do is to call to Him. You might be in the storm of your life. Whatever that might be. You might be going through a divorce. You might have a child who is away from the Lord. You might be getting ready to lose your job. It could be a number of things. You might be looking for a job that you can't find. You may have received a very bad diagnosis from a doctor. But the same God who has healed yesterday still heals today. Just 2 days ago, a friend of mine, her child was miraculously healed. You can't tell me that God is still not in the miracle working business. I see it every day of my life. So whatever it is you might be going through today, the same God who has taken care of those little birds, the same God who took care of Daniel will take care of you. Just call on the name of Jesus. When you call on that name, all of heaven's angels rush to your defense. When you call on that name, every chain has to break and every demon has to flee. When you call on that name, the atmosphere must shift and line up with what you say, because that name is the name that is above every other name.